Gas prices are up 31% in 2 years, and the average driver wastes $312 every year. From believing fuel lies, the fuel industry won't tell you this, but 7 out of 10 drivers are burning more fuel than they should because they trust old car advice from the internet. This is the surprising truth about fuel myths nobody tells you. Stick with me. The final bonus tip will reveal one fuel habit that silently kills engines. Let's get started. Myth number 17. Premium fuel gives better mileage in any car. I know the bottle at the pump makes it sound like magic. Boost performance, cleaner burn, better MPG, sounds nice. Total myth. If your car doesn't need premium, you're paying extra for nothing. Premium gas has higher octane. Octane is not power. Octane is resistance to knock, that pinging sound you hear when the air-fuel mix explodes too early. High compression and turbo engines need premium because they run hotter and push the fuel harder. Regular gas would knock in those engines, so the computer would pull timing to protect it. That costs power. So those cars need premium. Makes sense. But if your car was built for regular 87 octane, premium does not make it stronger. The engine computer won't change timing just because you feel fancy at the pump. I've tested this myself on customer cars over the years. Same route, same speed. Premium didn't move the needle at all. The American Automobile Association tested it too and said the same thing. In normal engines, premium fuel shows no benefit in performance or MPG. Save your money. Use the octane your owner's manual calls for. Nothing more, nothing less. The next myth wastes even more cash, and it's sneaky. Myth number 16. Filling up in the morning gives you more fuel. I know where this myth comes from. People say fuel is denser when it's cold, so you get more gallons for your money early in the day. Sounds smart. It's still wrong. That idea might work if gas pumps pulled fuel from surface tanks sitting in the sun, but they don't. Every gas station stores fuel deep underground, inside massive storage tanks buried below the frost line. Down there, fuel temperature barely changes, day or night. The ground keeps it stable. You can fill up at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., and the fuel temperature will be almost the same. There's another problem with this myth. Even if the temperature did change a little, which it doesn't, you'd need a massive swing for density to make any difference at the nozzle. We're talking pennies, not dollars. You'd never notice it. So don't stress the clock. Stop chasing fake gas station tricks. The best time to fill up is simple, when your tank is low. The next myth? That one burns money while your car just sits still. Myth number 15. You must warm up your engine before driving. You don't need to warm up your engine for long before driving. That advice is stuck in people's heads from the 1970s. Back then, cars had carburetors, and yeah, you had to let them warm up or they'd stumble and stall. But modern engines aren't built like that anymore, and this old myth refuses to die. Today's engines use fuel injection and computer-controlled sensors. The engine adjusts itself the moment you start it. Idling for 10 minutes does nothing but waste gas and build carbon in the engine. That black soot you see inside tailpipes? Long idling makes it worse. Your engine actually warms up faster when you drive, gently, because it gets under light load and oil reaches working temperature quicker. Even engine makers say this. Check any modern owner's manual. Most say idle for about 30 seconds, then drive easy. That's it. No science experiment. No sitting in the driveway for a coffee break. Just start it, wait a moment, and go. Warming up doesn't protect your engine anymore. It just burns fuel. The next myth? That one sells lies in a bottle. Myth number 14. Fuel additives solve engine problems. Fuel additives don't solve engine problems. That line alone will upset a lot of people, but someone has to say it. Additives are not cure-all magic juice. They won't fix a rough idle caused by a bad coil. They won't repair a weak fuel pump. They won't bring a dead injector back to life. At best, they clean. That's it. Cleaning is not repairing. Most additives are nothing more than detergents and solvents. They can help remove light carbon, sticky injector tips, and minor gum and fuel lines. Sure, I've seen them help in mild cases, but when folks pour in bottle after bottle trying to fix a dying engine, they're just wasting money and time. I once had a customer who dumped 6 bottles of cleaner into his tank. Guess what? The problem was a clogged fuel filter starving the pump. A $12 filter solved it. If the engine has a real mechanical or electrical issue, no bottle will save it. Diagnose first, then fix the cause. Additives are maintenance, not miracles. Myth number 13. Running on empty doesn't harm your car. I hear people brag about how far they can drive after the fuel light comes on. That's not smart. That's gambling with your fuel system, and sooner or later, you'll lose. Your fuel pump sits inside the tank. That pump uses gasoline as both lubrication and cooling. When you run low, the pump gets exposed to air. It runs hotter. It works harder. Heat kills electric fuel pumps. I've replaced more failed pumps in cars that were always low on gas than I can count. People think the pump just wore out. No, it was cooked to death. There's another problem. When fuel is low, dirt and sediment in the tank get sucked toward the fuel pickup. That stuff clogs filters and injectors over time. You won't feel it right away, but your engine slowly loses power and starts to hesitate, all from trying to stretch one more day before hitting the gas station. Keep at least a quarter tank of fuel. Your pump will last longer. Your engine will thank you. And if you think that's bad, wait till you hear what some people do at the pump that drains their wallet every single fill-up. Myth number 12. Topping off your tank gives you more fuel. People at the gas station do it all the time. The pump clicks off, and then they keep forcing more gas in. Click, click, click. They think they're outsmarting the pump and getting extra fuel. In reality, they're slowly wrecking their car. Modern vehicles have an EVAP system. That's a sealed vapor system that keeps fuel fumes from leaking into the air. When you overfill your tank, that extra gas gets pushed into the charcoal canister, the part that stores fuel vapor. That canister is only made for vapor, not liquid fuel. When gas gets inside it, the charcoal breaks down. Then the purge valve sticks. Then you get a check engine light, rough idle, and a repair bill you didn't need. I've replaced EVAP systems in cars just because someone kept topping off their tank to squeeze $2 more in. Believe me, it isn't worth it. When the pump clicks off, stop. You're not beating the system, you're flooding it. And if you think that mistake is common, wait till you hear what people believe about fuel quality. It starts more arguments than politics at Thanksgiving. Myth number 11. Cheap gas destroys your engine. Cheap gas does not destroy your engine. People argue with me over this one all the time. They swear the brand name station gives cleaner gas and the discount place sells junk fuel that will tear up your engine. Truth is, in the United States, all gasoline, cheap or premium brand, has to meet the same minimum standards set by the EPA. Same base fuel, same regulations, same supply pipelines in many regions. Here's what matters: detergents. Some gas stations add better cleaning additives to their fuel. Those are called top-tier stations. They help keep injectors and valves cleaner over time. That can make a small difference, but cheap gas itself doesn't hurt engines. Dirty fuel can show up at any station if they have bad storage tanks or don't maintain their filters. I've seen premium stations pump out fuel full of water. Price doesn't protect you from that. If you want cleaner fuel, don't chase price. Look for top-tier certification. But if all you've got nearby is a budget station, you're fine. Just maintain your fuel filter. And speaking of wasted money, what people believe about fuel and power still blows my mind. Myth number 10. Higher octane equals more power. This is one of the most stubborn fuel myths out there. Folks see that 91 or 93 number on the pump and think it must be stronger than 87. That's not how fuel works. Octane isn't about strength, it's about knock resistance. Knock, or detonation, is when fuel explodes too early in the cylinder. It sounds like a metallic ping. High-performance engines with high compression or turbochargers run hotter and squeeze the air-fuel mix harder. They need higher octane to prevent knock. That's why the manufacturer calls for premium in those engines. But if your engine was designed for 87, it won't knock on regular fuel. It doesn't need higher octane. So running premium does nothing. Your computer will not suddenly unlock hidden horsepower just because you spent more at the pump. Want more power? Maintain your engine, change your air filter, clean your throttle body. Make sure your timing is right. Don't expect a fuel sticker to give you speed. But folks still swear by this next so-called fuel hack, and it drives me nuts. Myth number 9. You should always stick to one gas station brand. You don't need to stick to one gas station brand. Some folks treat gas stations like football teams. They pick a brand and stay loyal for life. They swear their car runs better on one station's gas. Truth is, most fuel in a region comes from the same refinery and the same pipeline. The only difference between brands is the additive package they mix in before delivery. Some stations use stronger detergent additives. Those are called top-tier stations. And yes, that can help keep injectors cleaner over time. But there is zero benefit to staying loyal to just one brand. In fact, using fuel from different stations can sometimes help. You get a mix of detergent formulas, which can clean different deposits in the fuel system. What does make a difference is station maintenance. Pick a station that moves a lot of fuel and keeps clean filters on their pumps. That reduces the chance of getting contaminated fuel. Don't chase a logo, chase clean gas. Buy fresh fuel from busy stations. That's what your engine wants. The next myth promises cleaner engines, but lies straight to your face. Myth number 8. Fuel filters last forever. I've seen people ignore them for years, thinking it's just a filter. That mindset kills engines. A clogged filter starves the fuel pump and injectors, causing hesitation, rough starts, and sometimes a dead pump. You'll think your car just gave up, but the filter started the chain reaction. Modern cars sometimes have filters inside the fuel pump assembly, but they still get dirty over time. Older cars have inline filters that are easy to replace. Either way, contaminants build up: rust, dirt, tiny particles from the tank. The filter's job is to catch that stuff before it reaches your injectors. When it fails, everything downstream suffers. Service manuals are clear. Replace the fuel filter at recommended intervals. Don't wait for symptoms. If your car loses power under load, sputters, or struggles to start, check the filter first. Most of the time, a simple replacement solves it, and it's cheaper than chasing a fried pump or clogged injectors. Replace your filters on schedule. Keep the fuel flowing. Myth number 7. Ethanol fuel ruins engines. Ethanol fuel does not automatically ruin engines. I hear this one all the time. People blame every hiccup on E10 or E15. Sure, ethanol can cause problems, but only under certain conditions. It's not a death sentence for your car. Here's the deal. Ethanol attracts water. If a car sits unused for months, that water can cause corrosion in older tanks or damage rubber seals and hoses not rated for ethanol. That's why old classic cars often need ethanol-free fuel. Modern cars, though, are built to handle E10 or even E15 without a problem. Fuel lines, gaskets, and tanks are ethanol compatible. Manufacturers like Ford, GM, and Toyota design them that way. The real risk is neglect. Old fuel, long storage, or ethanol exposure over months without use can gum up injectors or cause corrosion. But drive your car, keep it maintained, and ethanol is just fuel. It burns clean and powers the engine like any other mix. Use modern ethanol-blended gas without fear. Keep your car moving. Treat storage cars differently. Myth number 6. Coasting in neutral saves gas. Some drivers lift off the throttle, pop it into neutral, and think they're cutting fuel costs. They're not. On modern fuel-injected cars, the engine computer actually shuts off fuel delivery when you coast in gear, as long as your foot is off the accelerator. In neutral, the engine has to idle to stay running, and that still burns fuel. Plus, coasting in neutral is dangerous. You lose control of engine braking, which helps slow the car without hitting the brakes. On hills, your brakes will wear faster, and in emergencies, you can't react as smoothly. I've patched up more brake systems ruined by neutral coasters than I can count. Manufacturers and the EPA both recommend keeping the car in gear while coasting. It saves more fuel and keeps you safer. Using engine braking is efficient and protects your car. Coasting in neutral is a myth that wastes gas and risks accidents. Keep the car in gear when slowing. Save fuel and stay safe. Myth number 5. Idling uses less fuel than restarting. This one drives me nuts. Some folks think they're saving gas by leaving the engine running while parked or waiting. They'll sit for 10, 15, even 20 minutes, telling themselves it's better to idle than restart. Wrong. Modern engines use very little fuel when starting, usually less than a few seconds of idling. In fact, the longer you idle, the more fuel you burn. That's why manufacturers say, turn off your engine if you're stopped for more than 30 seconds, except in traffic. It's simple math. Idle too long, you're wasting fuel and making the engine work harder to burn that gas. Heat builds up in parts not designed for it, and deposits form faster. The only time idling makes sense is extreme cold weather for a minute or two, so oil circulates and windows defrost. Even then, don't overdo it. Restarting the car is almost always more efficient than leaving it running. You save fuel, reduce wear, and protect the engine. Turn it off when you can. Don't let idle time drain your tank. Myth number 4. Diesel is always cheaper to run. Diesel prices jump higher than gas in many states, and maintenance runs about 15 to 25% more per year. Diesel is not always cheaper to run. Folks assume diesel engines automatically save money because they get better miles per gallon. That's only part of the story. Fuel economy doesn't cover everything. Diesel itself often costs more per gallon than gasoline, depending on your area. And maintenance? That's where the real costs hit. Diesel engines are tougher, yes, but parts like injectors, glow plugs, and fuel filters are pricier. I've replaced injectors on diesel trucks that cost over $1,000 each. A comparable gas engine fix would be a fraction of that. Modern diesel trucks also have emission systems that gasoline engines don't. Diesel particulate filters and DEF, diesel exhaust fluid, systems need care. If a DPF clogs, your truck can lose power or go into limp mode until it's serviced. That's not cheap. Diesel can be efficient and last a long time, but it's not automatically cheaper. Fuel cost, maintenance, and emissions all factor in. Do the math before assuming diesel will save you money. Myth number 3. Gas from busy stations is better quality. A long line at the pump doesn't mean better fuel. Lots of drivers think busy stations have cleaner, fresher gas. That sounds right, but it isn't the full truth. Fuel doesn't magically go bad overnight. Most gas stations store fuel in underground tanks, where temperature stays stable. What really matters is turnover. A busy station moves fuel faster, so it's less likely to sit too long. That can reduce the chance of water contamination or stale fuel, especially in extreme heat or cold. But the difference isn't huge. A slow station with good maintenance and proper filtration will give you perfectly fine fuel too. Contamination is rare if stations follow EPA and local regulations. Rust, dirt, or water in tanks are what actually ruin fuel, not a pump being slow. You want a station that keeps tanks clean and pumps maintained, not just crowded. Pick a station with proper maintenance and fresh fuel, not just a long line. Your engine will thank you. Myth number 2. Higher fuel rating equals cleaner engine. Octane rating measures how well fuel resists pre-ignition. That's it. It doesn't scrub valves, doesn't wash injectors, and doesn't clean combustion chambers. High-octane fuel prevents pinging in high compression or turbo engines, but it doesn't burn off carbon any better than the regular gas your car was designed for. Modern fuels already include detergents that help keep injectors and combustion chambers clean. Most manufacturers specifically say to use the octane listed in your owner's manual. Using higher octane than needed, you're just throwing money away. If you want a cleaner engine, do the real work. Change your oil on time, replace air filters, and use top-tier fuel if you want extra cleaning power. That actually keeps your fuel system in shape. Don't buy into the idea that expensive gas does maintenance for you. Stick to the octane your car needs. Keep up with basic maintenance. Save cash without sacrificing engine health. Myth number 1. Fuel system cleaning isn't necessary. This one might be the most overhyped fuel myth of them all. Fuel system cleaning isn't necessary for most cars. Some shops push it like it's a required service every oil change, but that's a money grab in a bottle. Modern gasoline already has detergents to keep injectors and valves clean. If the engine runs smooth and your mileage is normal, the fuel system is doing its job. I've seen too many customers pay for expensive cleanings when all they needed was a new air filter or a proper fuel filter replacement. Fuel system cleaning only becomes useful if you notice real symptoms: rough idle, hesitation, poor acceleration, or check engine codes pointing to fuel delivery issues. Otherwise, it's overkill. Your engine can self-maintain with regular driving and proper fuel. Manufacturers and consumer reports confirm that routine fuel system cleaning isn't required unless there's a problem. Most injectors stay clean for tens of thousands of miles with normal fuel and maintenance. Don't fall for preventive services that aren't preventive at all. Pay attention to real issues, change filters, and use quality fuel. Save your money for parts that actually wear out. Now you know the truth about gas. But what about fuel additives? Most are a waste of money, but a few can restore lost power and fuel economy fast. Problem is, mechanics don't tell you which ones. I'll show you. Click the link below to find out.